Anastasia here for Tech Club TV. We're here with Tamara Mendelsohn from Eventbrite, VP of Marketing. Hello, welcome to Tech Club TV.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here.
Good. You've got some exciting news and an exciting report that has just come out. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is our first UK social commerce report. And so we've released numbers in the US in the past around social commerce, but this is the first time we've actually taken a look to see how users in and around the UK are interacting with Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn when it comes to Eventbrite. And it's probably, just for some background, worth noting, the reason we did this report in the very first place was that we saw that Facebook was becoming the #1 driver of traffic to Eventbrite. And when we dug into that to figure out what was going on, we really found that two main things. One, that event organizers, when they published an event to Eventbrite, wanted to invite groups they were a part of and broader social networks that they were a part of, and so they would republish their Eventbrite event to Facebook and invite people that way. And so people were clicking on the links, coming back to Eventbrite and buying tickets. The other thing that we saw was that attendees, so people that were discovering great events, to actually go to were copying and pasting the URL into Facebook and asking their friends if they wanted to come with them. So I found this great concert, who wants to come with me? Or this amazing speaker is giving a lecture, who wants to go with? And so slowly Facebook became the #1 driver of traffic to Eventbrite. And in terms of the impact, the actual real impact that social media was having on ticket sales, we decided very early on to put the mechanisms in place to be able to track this, to show that social media actually does have a true sort of pound value, dollar value impact on event sales. And so, this most recent report, the social commerce report for the UK, found that on average, when a user shares an Eventbrite event on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, it drives £1.77 in additional revenue for the event organizer. So people are clicking on that link, coming back and buying tickets. So in essence, if you're organizing an event, it's a very powerful promotional channel for you to reach more people without actually having to spend any marketing dollars.
And obviously, events are inherently social, so I guess it makes sense for you guys to move into that space.
Yeah, I think there's a very natural link between social media and events. Unlike a lot of other e-commerce categories, people want to share the events that they're going to. If you think about how you find out about what events you attend, it's primarily word of mouth. It's primarily friends or coworkers saying, hey, check out this thing that's happening next week, come along. And so social media doesn't actually change that behavior, it just enhances it or magnifies it. And through the way we're able to track things, where we can show people that there is a real true impact, and that it's worth putting some extra time into understanding which social networks people that you're trying to reach are a part of, whether it's Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook or others.
So these metrics are to kind of help people gauge where they should target their audiences and which social platforms are most suited to make their events.
Exactly. And it's been interesting to compare the numbers coming out of the UK Eventbrite platform versus the US Eventbrite platform. For example, we found that Twitter is actually more powerful for driving event revenue in the UK than in the US, which was surprising to us. Yeah.
Is there any sort of patterns so that you can kind of see the reasons behind why different platforms are useful?
Yeah, I think if you drill in one level deeper, you can see the types of events that people are sharing. And on Twitter in the UK, it tends to be more business networking, a lot of sort of entrepreneurially focused events, tech events, things like that. And those are really taking off on Twitter in the UK, which is interesting.
I guess that whole entrepreneurial tech scene kind of molds well with Twitter being, a tech platform.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about, actually, tell those people at home who don't know what Eventbrite is, what it does. It's a great platform. We use it all the time.
Yeah, so the original vision and idea behind Eventbrite was really to take technology and enable anybody to have really professional online registration and online ticketing for their events. So whether it's a 10-person class or workshop, or a 200-person meetup, or a 50,000-person festival, you can use Eventbrite to sell tickets online, to gather registrations online, collect that information, and use it to make your events more successful. And so it's really this notion of using technology to, we like to say, to democratize, but really to make accessible some of the very professional sides of events that previously only really big events could afford.
And what I noticed about Eventbrite is that the interface is so easy. It's simple. My grandma could use it, and that's always the crux of when you know that an app or a platform is good is when an 80-year-old person can use it. And you guys are kind of integrating a lot of extra things. Obviously the metrics, and you're moving towards more social. Are you going to keep that platform quite simple?
Yes, I think making it as easy as possible for whether you love technology or you hate technology, it doesn't really matter. The technology just enables people to get together more easily, and we like to say we make it easier to use online technology to bring people together offline. And we spend a lot of time testing out our products. We go out to events, we watch people use them, we use them ourselves at our own events, and so really making it super simple and really quick, and focusing on taking the headache out and the stress out of managing an event is really where we're spending a lot of our time.
And there's a lot of sort of people in the kind of event space online, other competitors. How does Eventbrite, stay different? And even in the future, how are you gonna maintain that USP?
Yeah, I think for us, it comes back to who we are at our core. We're a tech company. We're constantly innovating with technology and looking to understand what new technology is out there that we can take advantage of to make this process easier, simpler, and more effective for our event organizers, for our customers. I think a good example of that is how we've leveraged mobile technology to help people now get their attendees through the door much faster. So we have an iPhone app as well as an Android app that turns your phone into a ticket scanner. So
QR based?
So this is a QR based. It's also, you can also search by the list. So I can show you, when people come to the door, you have a list of everyone, and you can just check them off.
So they can say their name.
Yeah, you can just check them in automatically. Or you can use a scanner if they bring a QR code. So
Here's one I prepared earlier.
So this app is for attendees. So it's a mobile wallet for all your Eventbrite tickets. And if you bring it to the door, I can just scan you in directly from my app, so then you can see you've entered successfully. And
very simple.
Yeah.
And I guess the idea is that everyone is mobile, events are mobile. You don't necessarily, we're kind of moving away from a ticketing culture.
Exactly.
Everyone always, at least I do, always forget to bring my printed out tickets. So something like this would be really useful for me.
Super useful. Save some trees, save some paper, and makes it very easy and quick to get people through the door instead of me having to rummage through a list of 50 sheets of paper. I can just quickly scan you in.
Which again is a really useful thing at events where there's a massive queue. That's one way to make people walk away from an event and feel happy. Because they don't have to queue for hours to get in.
Yeah, they can get in faster, enjoy the event faster, and it's just a free app that is available on iPhone and Android, so really we're just trying to make it as accessible to as many people as possible.
So with this mobile platform, what are you guys, dreaming-wise? Where do you guys want to do on your mobile platform in 5 years?
Yeah.
What could it do?
I think there's so much opportunity, right? You just set it up and you get the whole thing. Hands out drinks.
And sees the event.
No, I think there's a ton of opportunity as mobile devices continue to proliferate, and also as location-based services get better. We're going to be spending the next couple of months really focusing on helping people discover great things to do. Now that there are so many events on Eventbrite, you can imagine on your mobile device, one night you're out and you're looking for an event to go to. Yeah, you can see what's happening around you, where your friends are. That's the direction that we're heading, and some of the opportunity that we think is in mobile.
And when you log on via Facebook to Eventbrite, I guess then are you able to capture that data to then in the future maybe target somebody likes interest, or they like rap music, I don't know, and then tell them, then push those kind of relevant events to them.
Absolutely. So if you tell us that you're interested in receiving those types of notifications, absolutely. I think the more events you attend on Eventbrite, the better we understand how you like to spend your time. And if you're a foodie and you tend to go to food events, or a techie and love tech events, we know that most of the events you attend are in London, and then if you choose to connect with Facebook and share that data with us, we can then let you know where your friends are as well.
Very, very cool. So you guys are expanding globally. Obviously, congratulations, you launched in the UK very recently. We were at your party, drinking in the champagne bar, the secret champagne bar, which you had to find a QR code and scan it to find out where it was. Very cool, very forward thinking. I stayed in the champagne bar quite a lot, I have to say. So you guys are moving global. What's next for Eventbrite?
Yeah, well today actually we launched our French site.
Oh,
so,
congratulations. How do you say that in French?
Félicitations.
Félicitations! There we go.
So that's incredibly exciting for us. It's a big milestone, just as kind of opening the office here in the UK was a really big, important kind of marker for us. The launch of the French site is as well. A really exciting time for us. It's our first foreign language site, and we're really excited to see, how Eventbrite takes off across the European continent and what types of events we can empower and how we can help people, gather together more easily across the world.
Definitely. Do you see that events are different in Europe, even UK and Europe versus, say, the United States?
It's hard to say. At first, in any market, there tends to be a lot of tech adoption, but what we've been seeing more recently is classes have really been taking off in Eventbrite around the world. So there is an appetite to want to go out and learn, to learn and to grow your small business and to educate yourself, and we found that Eventbrite has really been taking advantage of for those types of activities.
Very cool. And so how can all of our viewers find out about Eventbrite, sign up to it, get the app, etc.?
So the apps are available on the app stores. You can just type in Eventbrite and it's just the Eventbrite app. If you're organizing an event, there's the Entry Manager app that you can download that turns your phone into the scanner. But then eventbrite.co.uk is where it's all happening. So you can sign up for a free account and play around with the tool. The way we make money is that we just take a small percentage if you charge for your event.
Okay, so that's your revenue on the event organizer side.
Exactly, and as an attendee, you can come to Eventbrite and see all the breadth of events that are being organized around you and discover great new ways to kind of get off your couch, get outside, meet new people, and learn more about your communities.
Very cool. Well, you've heard it here first. Thank you very much, Tamara.
Thanks for having me.
And we look forward to Eventbrite spreading globally.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've been watching Tech Club TV.